Good morning everybody, and hope you're enjoying the 30-day video challenge so far. Today is day 12 and it's going to be an interesting one. We're on our way to Veliko Tarnovo to renew Anisha's residency card, her lična karta, and we're arranging to meet the translator at I think 1 o'clock in VT at the CAT office. But before we go there, we need to get a bank statement in Gorna, which is almost halfway en route to VT for us. And then we can take that to the notary and then you can get a wet stamp for that, which helps with the application process. There needs to be signatures and things like that. So the things we're taking with us is Anisha's current passport, her old expired passport, photocopies of both, and a photocopy of the lična karta and the deeds to the house. Now, it sounds a little bit complicated, but we have to take both passports because when we got the original 1-year residency card prior to Brexit, it was on our old passport number and we've recently changed it when we visited the UK. So it's always good to take more than what you think, because when you're in the middle of a situation and they ask for a certain document, if you find it hard to translate and read the paperwork that you've got in a special folder like us, you don't know if you're taking all the right stuff. So we take all of what we think we need, and it usually makes the process a lot easier. So like I say, we're going to head to Gorna first. We're going to chuck the gas bottle for the cooker in the back of the truck because we ran out of gas the other day and we've been having to rely on the one hob of the electric cooker, which has been fun for one-pot meals. So we're going to bring you along the journey, and I hope this helps anyone who's going to do anything similar. So we just got out of the bank and it was a really easy and simple process. There's a woman in there that speaks really good English.
And she recognises us.
Yeah, she clocked us when we walked in and collared us over. So that avoided any miscommunication problems that we usually have. So we got the wet stamp on the bank statement and now we're heading through the market of Gorna to meet Dad back up to go to VT to meet the translator. So far so good. Just come out of the health centre now, so Anisha's all set up on the BG Health service, which will go out of our bank as a direct debit. But now we've got to head to the notary to get a photocopy of the official deed stamp because our house is still in my dad's name, although we have a business. So we need to get that photocopied and get the stamp on that, which will support the application to renew her residency. When we went inside the notary, obviously it's a government building and you can't really show photography and things like that. But we basically handed over a signed form off my dad that the translator helped us produce, which basically proves that we are living in this property under his name. Now, for a bit of context, we can easily put the house in our name, but there's a couple of hundred lev of tax duties and process charges that we need to pay in order to get it under our business name. So for now, we're just kind of waiting until the finances allow because it doesn't really make much difference. The only benefit of having the house in our name to our business bank account would be for bills and things like that. So currently, the way it works is Dad gets the bills, tells us how much we owe him at the end of the month for water, electric, things like that, and council tax, which we did the other week, and we just put it into his bank. But in the future, it's something we're going to set up. After we got the stamp approved on the statement off my dad, saying we're living in the property, we then got a photocopy of the original deeds to the house, because it's always good to keep hold of the master. And then we went straight over the road to the CAT office. So because we had everything prepared with the help of our translator, it was a pretty simple process. Now, it is only simple for the renewal process for us because we don't fall into the Type D visa requirements, because we got our residency cards before Brexit. And when we initially applied for the cards, it went off of our EHIC card, our European health insurance, and they were expiring in 2 years. So at the beginning of the video, I was actually incorrect when I said our first card only lasted a year. It didn't, it lasted 2 years. And because we had it later in the year, that's why it's kind of pushed over to now. So we don't fall underneath the same eligibility criteria and requirements. People who are applying now post-Brexit have a lot more paperwork and a lot more fees to incur when you're renewing. And you have to start by getting a 1-year residency card, and every year following that is, I think, is 700 levs. But for our total cost so far, for the translator fees, admin fees and things like that, I think it came to about 80 lev. So very reasonable and not very complicated as long as you have everything in place. So that's Niche pretty set up and ready to go now. We've got one more visit due next Friday to meet the translator once more, and that's really to finalise any tweaks and details before they print the new card, and it might be a following week to collect the physical thing. And it'll just be questions like, do you want to change your photo? Is everything correct? Has anything changed since you last came in? And like I said, that's going to be another simple process. Now, because we fall under the Brexit Article 52 instead of the current regulations of the new residency cards, we've been granted a 5-year card now. So that pretty much sums up the process. Like I say, very reasonable, nice and organised, but we've come home and we're absolutely knackered. We did get the gas bottle filled up, which was another 25 lev on top of what we had to pay out today. But like I said, that gas now is going to last us 4 to 5 months. So we did budget for it, it's paid off. We nipped into Kaufland to get some pizzas for tea as a treat because we're just knackered. So thanks very much for watching so far, and we'll see you tomorrow.